LDD, Millie. Should go get some of the rubber bands, dang it. I should, but I don't feel like it. I'm not going to. I should. Do something different. I don't know. Anybody out there? Hello. Hello, people. Hello, it's me. Back at you. How you doing? I didn't review last night's notes, so I don't remember. You had asked something, I believe, that we didn't get to, but I don't recall. And I should have looked at my notes from last night if I could have pulled them up. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. The live chat notes. Kind of too late to do it now. See if anybody shows up. I don't know if you're familiar with Michelle, with Raising a Remnant, Moral Compass. She's gonna do live streaming at 9. She said at 9. I texted her, said I'm gonna live stream at 8. She said I'm live streaming at 9, so I'm thinking she meant 9 Eastern time. I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of thinking that. So I figured, well, if I go on at 7 something, then we can finish by 8, then I can get on her live stream also. Be good for her. Be good to talk to her folks. She's got a lot of followers. Hello, Zapped and Kaboom. Jeremiah Shino, you figured it out, huh? Okay. Figured out who I was. Of course, I tried to tell you. I couldn't believe your phone's not registered. Don't have me in there. I figured you got the text. Okay, that's good. So I was right. You were wrong. Ha 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 ha. Oh, cold. It's gonna be really cold tonight. Not as cold as where Jackie's gonna be though. Where Jackie's over by Festus, Missouri. If you look that up, it's not too far from the Mississippi River, and it's like 7 degrees there tonight, and she does, I don't know, virtually no heat. Really appreciate prayers for her. Very hard on her. She's 71 years old. Been trying to rebuild her camper in the winter. She needs to get the roof on, finished up and sealed, and every time it's warm, she gets up there and works on it, you know. Very, very nasty conditions she's living under. I wish to heck we could get her out of there. I'd like to, if I had a vehicle, I'd just go get her and help her. Oh, well, I can't text your email, silly. Silly. Okay, well, you got it figured out anyway. Any questions? It's just kind of a fellowship time, you know. It's been difficult for me and a lot of people, you know. The weather is not, it hasn't been really bad this winter. It's been a pretty mild winter comparatively, but, you know, still, today was last night was cold. I don't know what it was, 11 or 12, and it's going to be a cold tonight again. So I didn't go outside much, just for like 5 minutes. And I didn't even go down and get any food or anything. I just stayed in the camper. Nobody really wants to see me anyway, so I just kind of stayed to myself. I don't believe in lone wolf with Quaid by any means, but it's it's difficult. Kind of really low on food, and I had ackee tonight, double ackee. I don't want to think about it. Okay, anyway, on to bigger and brighter things. So, envisioning a different future, we can work toward a different future. We can, see ahead, envision ahead. And that is exactly what the word providence is about. That's what it means. Pro video. Video is the word, provide is from the Latin pro video, to see, to vision for other people, to video for other people, right? So when you find someone who's a visionary, and that's what I am, quite the visionary, not much practical. I mean, I've done a lot of practical things, more than most people in their life, but in a sense, and yet I haven't done anything real. I'm a nobody who's been nowhere and done nothing. So, oh well, you know. But I've I've sold 4 semi-loads of sea salt. That's almost 200,000 pounds of salt here locally in Cedar County. Most of it in Cedar County. Very little of it outside of Cedar County. But so there's a lot of salt here that wouldn't have been here otherwise. Hopefully, most people have kept it from the rats and mice and snakes and stuff. I don't know. That's on there. I'm not me. I got some. Anyway, so I've done some practical things, but by and large, I'm very strategic minded. It's very pie in the sky, visionary, futuristic. And recently, in one of the talks the other night, one of the guys said that when God's dealing in the prophetic, He's always dealing. When He starts dealing with a man in the prophetic sense, He's dealing a generation ahead of time. And that's what the word provision, providence means. You see ahead, you vision ahead for other people. And that's what I've been doing. So it's hard on me. Yeah, people don't like me because of it, because they don't like the way I talk or whatever. They don't like the way I look. I don't really care about anything except doing what God wants me to do. So, I'm not maybe that attractive. I'm not in great health. That's for damn sure. I've got to do something about that. I've been trying to. I exercise every day. I did it today. But anyway, yeah. So down to 1 people on here, huh? That's not good. I can poop can this earlier. Hi Dan, how you doing? What's the weather there down to? It's I don't recall, but I think 11 or 12 tonight. Pretty chilly. Like I was saying, where Jackie is going to get down to 7 tonight. Brutal. The meth heads there, they put gas in her kerosene. They put water in her kerosene. Those guys, I'd like to just go over there with a bunch of Vietnam vets and just clean house on them people. I'll tell you what. Extreme lowlifes. Satanic, evil, greedy, selfish, stupid people. I wish they would all win a Darwin Award, to improve the human gene pool by removing themselves from it. Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice? 18, that's not too bad. That's going to be warmer there than it is here tonight, I think. Pretty sure I checked earlier. I thought it just said 12. 5, oh my gosh, where the heck are you at? I forget. Jeremiah, where are you at? 5, that's brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Oh, you're in another state, aren't you? You're in another state, like a state of confusion or something, right? A foreign country. Don't tell me you're east of the Mississippi. That's not good. Zombie land. I saw. What do you mean get a load of wood? Tonight? You better go do it. Indianapolis. Oh, yuck. Yeah. Get moving there, buddy. Just come back later. Listen to it later. A little bit late to be getting wood. It's supposed to be in the house and warmed up by now. I'm ready to put in the stove. I don't know what your setup is there, but that's what I believe in. I had like 11 days worth of wood inside the trailer when I stayed there that winter. I still haven't gone over and lit that thing up. I think I might do that one of these days. I don't know. When it's a halfway decent day and it's not too cold, I'm not too depressed, I'll go do it. I do want to do it. Hey guys, I've been looking at it's kind of a form of a rocket stove, but because it has top lit updraft. Swedish candles, Canadian candles, Swedish torches. Where you have a vertical fire down through a wood. Wheelbarrow. We'll get a wheelbarrow wood in there. Hurry up. We'll wait for you. Moral compass. Hey, how you doing? You're going live when I'm done. Okay, well, just tell me when we're done. I'll be done. You said 9. Well, it might last that long. I don't know. Maybe, may not. Okay, so there. Moral compass is on Michelle. I'm gonna sneeze. She has a. Is it raising the remnant? So we're very like-minded in that sense. We're been struggling very hard for both of us. She's on one of her YouTubes recently. She said, "I'm going to quit. It's just not worth it," and it really isn't not worth it at all. Sometimes it is, and once in a while people give a donation or something, but by and large, it's very hard to maintain this. It's $200 a month for me to do it because I got tablets and phone and everything. That's my internet bill. So I'm out $200 for that, and $100 and some dollars for hospital expenses. This and that. It's just hard to get by on that. But anyway, hi Michelle. Everybody say hi to Michelle. Moral compass, raising a remnant. That's what I'm feeling. This is like fellowship with remnant believers. Who are hardcore. I hope you're not all in as bad a shape as Jackie and me and Rock are, but it's hard. And Michelle, but it's been difficult for a lot of people. And that's what I see. And April, Johnny Doom in April. Oh my gosh, that poor lady and her 2 daughters. Surrounded by meth heads and crack addicts and just insane, evil people over there. Dadgummit, I don't like it. So that's why I say there's bad people everywhere, and there's certainly bad people here in the Ozark Plateau, and I'd like to see the house cleaned of them. I love the deputy patrolman here in Cedar County. He pulled me over one night, and he didn't give me a ticket. I was speeding, trying to get home, because my alternator was out, and I was trying to get home before my battery died, and I lost all my lights, because it was already dark. Anyway, so I saw him at a Black Walnut Festival at the end of the year, and I was standing there, and I looked up, and I said, he's about 6'5", I think, and I said, "How you doing?" He goes, "Pretty good. How are you?" And I said, "Okay." So I started the conversation off thusly: "You pulled me over one night," and he looked down at me, and he goes, "I didn't give you a ticket, did I?" And I looked up, and I said, "How do you know?" He goes, "I don't give normal people tickets." He says, he said, 100% of the crime in this county is committed by 100 people. We know who they are, we know where they live, we know what they drive, and we know what they look like. And we try to convince them that they'd be happier elsewhere. So they don't give normal people tickets. Yeah, pretty cool. So, but not all counties are like that here. Some counties, the sheriff department is totally corrupt. They get money from the feds. They make a lot of money from the feds on revolving door policy. For meth dealers, meth cookers. They arrest them, book them, get their money, let them out. Arrest another one, book them, let them out. About 2 months later, they might arrest the same guy again and again and again, and he's got like 30 violations, but they don't ever do anything to him. Let him go. Sucks. New Jersey Chief Girl, hey, wake up, yep. How you doing? Yeah, Michelle's going to go live when I'm off, so I'm going to get on her stream too. That's really cool. Michelle. Michelle. And she's a sister in the Lord. I have never met her. Be nice someday. We're hoping to get together someday. She's hoping to maybe come out and visit on her way to Montana. I don't know why anybody would be going to Montana, but maybe she got relatives up there. Is that just, are you going to travel around the country and visit, what do you call it, subscribers and friends around the country or what? I don't know. She's working on getting an RV set up. And who was I talk to out there? Was it you? Got to go to your mom's. Anyway, yeah, working on it. Hello, humans. Still traveling, okay. Who starts to talk with hello humans? More Michelle does. I don't know. That's a funny. Oh yeah, well, that wasn't Richie from Boston's thing, huh? The Telegram thing. Yeah, I saw that. I'll check it out. I'm on Telegram. I just don't ever upload anything because I got so bored with it after the whole Trump fiasco. I just gave it up. I just walked away from it. Can you post a link to Michelle's channel on here? I don't know. We can do it on my afterward, or Michelle might be able to do it. I don't have any idea, and I can't do it right now. Michelle, if you can do that, post a link for your channel, or however you best want, how you want people to low. Cliff high, cliff high. How about cliff low? Still traveling, okay. Whereabouts you at now, Michelle? So I'll talk a little bit about Swedish candles, Swedish torches, Canadian candles. Vertical burning wood. You can either drill a hole down the vertical. Like I did a video on a rocket stove I had. Found a big piece of wood out in the pasture that was dropping a tree. It had a vertical. It was hollowed down the vertical part of it, the trunk, and then it had literally a J2 rotted out branch. And so it had come down. And I cut it out. I cut in between the two, joined them up, set on a big old flat rock out in front of the cabin, and lit it up. And man, I'll tell you what, there was nothing, absolutely nothing left of it. Not one single piece of wood by the time it was done. It all burned up. It's a good way to get rid of a stump. So I want to do that some. But a Swedish candle is kind of the same idea. You can do a J-tube configuration. That's kind of a rocket stove configuration out of a thing. But let's say, imagine cutting a piece of wood in 4 pieces with a chainsaw or an axe, either one, and then you kind of shave some off the inside of it, off each 4 pieces. So you have a hole in the middle, say a 1 inch, somewhere 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch hole. You put tinder down there, light it up, and then it burns from the inside out. And it's very efficient because it has draw. You have to set it up so it has air coming in underneath it. Now, one guy, I've mentioned this guy before, Advoco makes, like an advocate. When you're an advocate, you're a lawyer's an advocate for the needy or for the criminal defendant. So you're a patient advocate, a hospital legal advocate. So Advoco, Advoko, makes. It's the name. I don't know why, but that's the name of his English channel. Okay, he has a Russian channel. He's got like millions of subscribers with millions and millions and millions of views. Yeah, he hit the 1 million mark. I don't know when it was, a couple of years ago, something like that. But he's so inventive. He's a genius. He's an inventive genius. He's an inventive genius. So he does vertical cooking in a Swedish candle. He builds one. You can put two slabs together, and then he puts hangers on it with like a hot dog on it with potato cold around it. So the as the meat, the juices come out of the meat, whether it's chicken or hot dog or whatever, beef, it seasons the vegetable around it with the flavoring, and he said it's just awesome. He just sits there and eats and goes, "This is so good. I wish you guys could taste this." But he does a lot of really brilliant stuff. So I'm going to be working on. I got a whole playlist going, and I'm going to be doing some other work with it on Swedish torches and cooking and everything. Because they're really good for cooking because they work like a rocket stove, so you can cook very quickly and very efficiently on them. And you only use one piece of wood, to cook, do all your cooking, and then of course you still got it to have a campfire with. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Look into that. I advise. I started last night talking about communications, and I'm going to might as well talk about that again because it's very important. You show up out in this neck of the woods, you could have a radio with you, and it might help you get found instead of getting lost, or help you, if you get lost or don't quite make it here. This is a Baofeng radio, Baofeng, Baofeng 888. As always, I should have a headlight here, and I don't. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Let there be light. There we go. Come on. So they're cheap. They're
power on. 16.
16 channels. They're not a GMRS as far as I know. I don't know what they are. 16 channels. All I know about them is
15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Houston. We have liftoff.
16.
So anyway, they're very inexpensive. Just on, off, push to talk, and there's headsets. They look like really nice headsets. They plug into the side with a typical microphone configuration of radio. I don't know if I got one. I had one here last night, and I don't know what I did with it. It was getting irritating for me, so I tried to throw it out of the way so it would not be in my way, but I don't know where I did with it. Anyway, all right. Well, that's enough. Anyway, back in 1993, people, you know, I did my second wake up call. I had my second wake up call from God. You know, I was going to quit. I was what I would call a closet survivalist and a prepper, or whatever you want to call it. And I was getting bored with it, getting discouraged. I didn't know anybody else that was doing it. You know, so I was going to quit. I actually told God, I'm going to quit. I'm going to become normal. I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to get a job, which we tried not. My wife and I tried not to have any real jobs, any real ties to the tax system, you know. And so I was like, I'm going to quit. I'm going to get a job, buy a house, be normal. Poof, you know, the Lord woke me up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is serious. It's what's happening right now is what I've been waiting for all these years. I've been figuring was going to happen all these years. So it didn't look good. So I woke up and started prepping big time from that point on out. Come on, man. So, yeah, it's Baofeng 888, yes. BAOFENG 888. If you see the chats, Gaddy Yanton put it in there. I think you can all read that, right? Can everybody read everybody else's comments? I hope, not just me. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, they're very reasonable. I got 13 of them for $100. The reason I did that was because it was a used deal. It was a refurbished bunch. Um, I got 18 chargers, which is great. A whole bunch of earpieces and different extra things. I think there's like a few extra antennas. As a matter of fact, the antenna screw on screw off, so you don't have to put it in your pocket and break it. You know, you can take it off, so you can carry it more compactly. You don't want to damage that antenna, of course. So anyway, they're really good. If you had it here, you're like probably within 3 miles of me, I would think, because we're very high up. There's places where you probably from 8 miles away we could probably stay in touch. I'd like to test that because there's 2 or 3 places that this guy that bought this land many years ago. He has 4 of the 5 highest places in Cedar County, in the whole county, and he's had radio operations going for a while, off and on. GMRS was really good. I know they're on channel 17 way back when. Well, I don't have channel 17 on this. So anyway, yeah. If you had a radio, you're coming into an area, you could try to get in touch with somebody local. And a lot of your patriot types, your prepper types, believer types, you're going to have some kind of radio because a lot of families use them for communication. You go to an expo, you go to let's say a big, huge state fair. There's thousands and thousands of people. We used to go to Highland Games Festival in Estes Park. Oh my gosh, don't get me started on that. That was so phenomenal, so much fun, such a blast discovering the heritage of the Scotch and the Irish people. The other night, there's a lady on here, Dawn Schneider. Remember that? Her husband, my husband's a lone wolf type. I'm like, oh boy. He's probably a border type. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he was Cherokee, Scotch, or Irish, and he's all three. I was like, ding, 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 ding. I got a brownie point for that one. I got a high score on that one. I had all three of them. Yeah, very cool. So anyway, um, communication is one of the most critical things in 1993 when I woke up. I saw it medical. I'm saying medical, not alternative health, because everybody's studying alternative health, but nobody does medical. Now, my friends Bill and Shirley here in Alaska, they were EMTs. And I mean, you're talking about people, crushed by cars and axe and chainsaw accidents and all kinds of really gross stuff. So they had a lot of experience, and they maintained a lot of it, and they still know a lot more than most people would. So, know how to do CPR and stuff. But two areas are going to be very critical. I mean, obviously, shelter is the top. If you don't understand that, understand shelter is your most important need for survival. You got all these preppers, and I got my preps together. I got my preps. I got my preps. I got to do my prep. I got to do this for preps. And they don't have good clothing, and they don't have good boots, and they don't have, Now, I know one person who does. He was military, so he has that in his head. Good boots, walk with them, get used to them. Good clothing, because you should be able to go to sleep in your clothing and stay alive. If not stay warm, but at least stay alive through a cold night. The Inuit Eskimos, Inuit are, what's the other one's called? Up in Finland and Norway, there's the reindeer people. And in Russia, Yakutia, that's like 50 below zero up there. Well, they can lay down on the ice and go to sleep in their clothes. No sleeping bags. They don't use sleeping bags because their clothes, both the uppers and butt, like their pants, are a caribou hide tanned pants with the skin to the outside and the hair to the inside. And they have another pair of pants that's the hair to the outside and the skin to the inside. So they have this 4-inch thick layer of clothing on their body at all times. Very thick. So they literally can lay down. They have a lot of insulation. And of course, they eat a lot of fat from meat and stuff, and so they have a lot of body fat. They know how to survive in the winter. If you know what you're doing, it's not that big of a deal. If you can imagine camping out in a hammock, no heat, no everybody's getting into hot tenting, and having a stove in their little cabin and and feeding it wood all night long, getting up to feed it, keep it warm. Can you imagine camping in a hammock, literally a hammock tied between two trees in a sleeping bag at 40 below zero? There's people that do that for fun. There's Shug Murray, Shugmery, Shug Murray, up in Minnesota, Ely, Minnesota, Ely, Minnesota, 40 below zero. His personal best, 2 nights out in the cold, 40 below zero, in that kind of weather. I'm not going to say any comments on how sane he is, but my friend Bill, he was up in Alaska, and it was like sometimes 80 below. The tires broke and cracked and fell off the wheels as they were driving. They disintegrated. You don't have any brakes because there's no brake fluid. The brake fluid's frozen. You just keep driving. He said, you drive slow, you drive very carefully. If you go off the road, you're dead. So anyway, a lot of insane things he went through, and he was describing to me how you had to have a 6-foot deep trench for your propane and your water line, and they had to be wrapped and heated all the time, or you couldn't have any propane, you couldn't have any water. And about the time when he told me that, my wrinkled my brows, and they went, "And why did you?" That's all I got out, and he fired back immediately before I even finished my question. And why did you do that? Why did you live like that? I said, "And why did you?" And he goes, "I loved every minute of it." So it's man against the elements, man against nature, challenge, fun, entertainment, excitement. He and his wife went camping to look for land, homesteading, and to restart the snowmobile, he had to build a fire under the oil pan to warm the oil up warm enough. He had to warm the engine up with a fire underneath the thing without, lighting off a gas line or lighting off oil, He had to start a fire under it to get it warmed up enough to start it, to even hope to start it, Just, oh my gosh. That's brutal, that's brutal. So anyway, I'd also recommend, on the subject of survival, book by Tom Brown called The Tracker. And in that book, he talks about, there's a chapter there about chickadee survival. Chickadees are these little crazy birds that just have fun when it's snowing. You'll see them in a blizzard. They'll be the first thing out in the blizzard, you know. Oh man, this is blast. We really enjoy life, you know. They fly around. They have to, like, they're waiting, their body weight in food every day or something. They're like hummingbirds, always going, bleh, and they're out chirping around and having a good old time in the worst of storms, you know. So, chapter's called Chickadee Survival. Because if you enjoy it, it's not so much of a task. You're not going to be worried. You're not going to be, you know, panicking and stuff. Don't panic. That's the number one rule of survival. Don't panic. Okay, we're at 30 minutes. I'm gonna check this. Get my arm out of the sleeping bag. Quite a bit colder than it was last night. I'll tell you that. I just had a sheet on last night. I remember that. Okay, Jeremiah Shine, that's a good point for everybody. I buy thrift store wool sweaters, wash them in warm water. Why do you do that? I don't know. Then I'll pull them out until they make a base layer. Base layer. I don't know. That's a good idea. Yeah, wool is awesome. Wool will keep you warm when it's soaking wet. If you haven't ever done that, you try that. Get a good pair of wool socks, 100% wool. Put your boots on and go walk through a stream up in the Rockies or in a freezing cold ice cold stream. You get this blast of cold, and then within about 2 seconds, your foot is warm. It's just amazing. Gadian says those ancient CB radios are dirt cheap and quite functional. Yeah, if you can find one, go ahead. Let me know how that works out for you. Great idea. I used to drive with one. It was nice. You could walk the perimeter with those bad boys. For those on watch at night. Yeah, you talk about the radios, I assume? Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I see Everbud, but yeah, I see lots of folks. 888 as in feast. I don't know why they call it that, but 888 means new beginnings. You know, new time, new start, new time, new era. But yeah, the name of that radio is Baofeng 888. That's the model number. Just kick it into eBay, you'll see them. I just bought 13 of them for $100 with 18 chargers and a whole bunch of antennas and earpieces and whatnot. So Michelle, you got the name of the radio right? Baofeng 888. Yeah. Daddy, what do you mean? I don't know if I see Everbud. Everybody. Oh, everybody. Yeah, but yeah, I gotta realize you're talking in code most of the time, and we had a guy that did that. It was so irritating. He had codes for, texting was just brutal because he used a flip phone. Oh my gosh. You know, it'd be a lot quicker for me to read it if he had written in normal English, you know. But man, it was nasty. Okay, anyway, sorry about that. I'm not criticizing you. Extra large sweaters, yeah, let's shrink them. Oh, okay. And pull them out if you need. Yeah, it makes them denser, I think. Reek, how you doing? Good to hear from you. Extra felted, warmer, not baggy. Yeah, I had quite a collection of military wool sweaters. They're the best ones, man. So durable, so well made. U.S. military. You know, other connections were okay, but the U.S. military ones, I had black ones, I had green ones, and I had tan ones. Enough for about a whole squad of people. I have no idea where they're at. Donald J. Trump is 888. Oh boy, let's not get into that. Or you're not saying he's a good guy, are you? Say hello to Jason. Hi, Jason. I haven't seen him. If he goes by Jason. Hey, Reek. Moral Compass is Michelle, and she's going to be on a live streaming as soon as we're off of here. She was going to go on at 9. I said I was going to go on at 8, and she fired back. I'm going to go on at 9. I thought, you mean probably 9? correct me if I'm wrong, but you're going to go on 9 Eastern time, so I'm not interfering with your schedule yet, am I? Or we can shut off now and just switch over to your thing if you want. That'd be fine with me. You has enough radios to outfit the whole darn crew, whole damn crew. Yep, I do. But the problem is, you know what? I don't think anybody's going to want one. I had one. I gave one to my friend, and the mom took it and gave it back. She thought she had broken it, but I don't know. It's just crazy. So I'm gonna in a few like, next few days I'm gonna go down and talk with Bill about it and say, hey, I want to leave this radio here in the cabin, and I want John to have one. I mean, what if he had a fire over there, or he had a what do you call it, whatever, he's got COPD, if he couldn't breathe, his daughter can get on the radio and go for it. Survival Russia here on YouTube has a buddy that makes jackets, pants, and jumpers from WW2 Russian greatcoats. Wow, that'd be awesome. Oh my gosh, $100. Huh. Survival Russia. That's the YouTube channel, I assume. Very cool. Reek, I got you. I'll do that. Yep. Soon as I can't do it now, I'll get it off. Do it when I get off here. Yeah. Yeah. Wool is just amazing. I remember my, having wool socks and getting into the creek in the Rockies and just ice cold, mountain cold water, make Coors beer out of it. But ice cold, man, I'll tell you what, and this foot's wet, both feet wet, and all of a sudden they're warm. I was just, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Sorel boots are good for wintertime, but they're not good for walking in. Well, they're good for walking in when it's cold. They don't pick up, they didn't, I don't know what they're made out of now, but they used to be made out of pure rubber, and they would not pick up any ice or snow. One time my brother-in-law and I were up hunting, and I had mountain boots on, like Vibram sole. And every 3 minutes or so, I'd have to stop and chip off the ice. They would just kick up, and then in the middle, so I'd be walking on these, precariously balanced on these ice blocks, and it's just very uncomfortable, hurting my feet, so I'd have to break it off. He meanwhile was living these perfectly beautiful. I could see the Canadian maple leaf, and I could read sorrel on them, beautiful with bear and whatnot. Every track had one of those. It was just like perfectly clean, beautiful, gorgeous, you know, picture perfect tracks. And me, I had to stop every 2 or 3 minutes to break the ice off of my boots. It was really quite the contrast, quite the, you know, lesson learned type thing. Wear real rubber boots if you're in those kind of conditions. So, yeah, I had a lot of good times up in the Rockies. It was nice. I enjoyed it. A lot of crazy times. Oh my gosh. Sitting on campfires at 30 below zero and getting so cold our teeth chattered when we go to lay down in the sleeping bag. Ooh, get it back up, build the fire back up, get something warm to drink, get warmed up, or we're all gonna be in deep doo doo. Anyway, so yeah, Michelle, I'll tell you what, they just keep going, keep going, keep going. That's all we can do. Keep going. Don't give up. One thing we're all, as everybody's listening to me, let me say this. Read my lips. No. Envision a different future. Envision a better future than envision a different life than what we're doing right now. There's going to be some changes coming. The economy may crash again. And Reek, I'd like to ask you or talk to you sometime about, the crypto, how that's going. Because Rock, I kind of want you and Rock to talk. Reek and Rock. Rock and Reek and Rock. He's out in Colorado and he got into crypto, but he said it crashed and he's hurting and he's losing there. He thought he was going to come out with enough money to come out here and buy land, and now he's like got nothing left, or pretty well trashed his portfolio, I guess is what I'd say. I don't know what else he has. I don't know if he has silver or gold or not, but whatever. But anyway, he's hurting, and in that respect, he's not going to come up with the money he thought he was going to have. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, you watch Rambo, A wool blanket, you can make a poncho if it's a big enough blanket, or you have two of them, make a pretty good size, bedroll poncho out of them. A mass die-off is coming shortly. Mass die-off of what, people? No, no problem. I don't believe that. I believe that, yeah. Pretty easy to believe with all the scamdemic garbage going on. That's what they're trying to do, of course. Whack everybody off. David Solomon asks, are you Torah observant? That's kind of a loaded question. And I go back to the thing of, I know a lot of people that read the Bible a lot, normal quote-unquote Christians, who wouldn't use any of those terminology, but they read the Bible all the time. They, you got to read the Bible, you got to read the Bible, you got to read the Bible. But they don't know the Bible well enough to know principles of the Bible. And I'd say the same thing about Torah observant people. They do read the Bible. They try to go to the original language, which of course I think the New Testament was written in Hebrew, but because of Michael Rood and all his bullshit crap, Nehemiah, Gordon, and all that. Anyway, that's all everybody says. Don't worry about it. But they read the Bible a lot. They study it a lot. They have a good handle on the Torah, but they don't observe it in a lot of ways. They break it repeatedly, and I've seen that. I'm not going to go into any details, but it's a slippery slope. Once you get on that slippery slope, you can end up going really fast downhill over a cliff. So, I observe feast days. I eat clean, foods. We don't eat things sacrificed to idols. We don't eat, unclean animals, pigs and rabbits and stuff, And we made, who knows how that's going to play out in the future. I know one guy that cannot eat chicken from, Tyson, because it's so modified and so antibiotic laden and what do you call it, steroids and stuff. He reacts really badly with them, so he raises his own rabbits and eats rabbit. Maybe it's better than chicken for him. I'd rather just why don't you raise chickens and grow your own chickens? Spend the same time amount of money you put into raising rabbits and to put raising chickens. Geez, then you have eggs to boot. Rabbits don't lay eggs. Last time I checked, eggs are so good. They're such a perfect food, especially for pregnant women. Such a perfect food. So, by the way, if nobody's aware of the Dr. David Brewer diet, called the Brewer diet for pregnant women that have what's that called? Toxemia, preeclampsia. Doctors say don't eat eggs and don't eat salt. They put them on a very strict no egg, no salt diet, no cholesterol, no salt diet. Your ankles are swollen up. You're retaining water. You're eating too much salt. Well, the solution is to eat a whole shitload of eggs, literally 52 eggs in one weekend, with lots of salt, and that'll knock out your toxemia in a heartbeat. This guy's done that for hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands and thousands of women across the country and around the world. David Brewer, Dr. David Brewer, a real doctor, not a chickens are cheap. Yeah, chickens are cheap to raise than rabbits. Yeah, they eat a lot of stuff. They eat a lot of stuff. Yeah, they eat anything. Nice thing that rabbits are herbivores, whereas chickens are omnivores. They eat everything. They eat spiders, bugs, lizards, rats. They'll eat anything that's thrown out there. If they can catch it, they'll kill it and eat it. Like little tiny velociraptors. As a bioweapon, the scamdemic has failed a bit as a psych weapon. Dig it. Can't you just write in English? As a psychological weapon, they're digging it. That's good. Yeah, it definitely is. It's insanely stupid. Maya Fokina. Hi. V Unrent. Yeah, the people who die of Torah observant here, not Torah observant, not here. Huh? Yeah, massive die off. Yes, the people dying off Torah observant, not here. well, you're not going to die off there because you're toward. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing about being more careful about what you're eating. I watched a video. It just it comes up in the thread, and I watch it. Some guy up in uh, Alaska. Yeah, he was out with a guy, and they were doing something on a working or something, and a bear came at him, so they killed it. They had to kill it. Okay, and they cooked some of the meat and ate it. Well, this guy's used to eating his steaks rare, so he had his the other friend had his like well done. He had his like medium rare or something like that. Well, he starts having vision problems. His eyes are going bad, and his different organs of his body are going bad. All kinds of testing and testing and testing, and he's basically dying. Finally, they figured out he had worms. He had parasites, and they were eating him up, killing him. And the guy said, "Have you?" He said, "The only time I've seen this is doctors were like, have you ever eaten bear meat in the last year or two?" And he goes, "Yeah, I did. Why? How'd you cook it? Medium rare. That's why you're dying." So, very interesting. The thing of pigs are having too many parasites, and he was tricking those. They showed the worms in him. Oh, it was horrible. Ray, how you doing? What's sticking arrow there? I can't quite read. Somebody write something so I can read his thing. What's sister channel? Raising a remnant. She put a link in there somewhere. I don't know if on here or maybe on the after the video. You guys, everybody, realize that after the video is posted, there's comments. You can click on the live chat there, but you can also click on the comments. They don't interact. So after the video is uploaded, and it'll be uploaded probably tomorrow morning, probably. You can go to my channel and go to it, and read other comments and add comments to it, so we can continue a conversation on these different topics there. You can post links to things there, and I will do that. And I've been trying to do that. I haven't been real good about it, and I should be better. When I talk about something, I should post links for it, study it, whatever. Like last night, we talked a lot about, the lineage of the sacred scarlet thread. Rahab and Ruth and Judah, Rahab, Judah, Tamar, Rahab, etc., etc. Okay, anyway, so moving right along. Yeah, it was quite a history trek. A couple nights have been like that. I just shut up and shut my eyes and started talking, and just I had a lesson for a long time. My voice is going. I gotta get some water. What's on your sister channel? I don't know. You have to go there to find out. I don't know. She's been doing this for about 10 years. Well, I've been doing it for 20. Hers is called Raising the Remnant, and trying to get, remnant believers together, hooked up, connected, travel around, meet them around the country. So she's doing that right now. I don't know. She said she's been traveling and going to go to the Montana. Maybe she knows somebody there. I don't know. I see some crazy looking bug coming out of raccoons when they are decomposing. I assume it's from the worms in them before they die. They're using these bugs. Well, that's pretty gross. Yeah, that's very believable. Raising a remnant. Okay. Acantha, Acanthocephalons. And thanks for that scientific bit of information. Moral compass. They don't understand the elements of the earth: ether, earth, fire, water, air. Who's they? I don't know. Who are remnant? That's a good question. Only God knows that. The word remnant means, it says in Isaiah 1, not verse 9, that there shall be a very small remnant, VSR, very, like a very special reserve, a very small remnant. God says that. That's in Isaiah 1, verse 9. There shall be a very small remnant. He keeps a remnant. In some places, I shall keep a tithe, a tenth for me. It's going to keep a tenth of the population alive. In some cases, that doesn't mean like across the board. People think that just because it says it was something in one verse that it's universally true. And it means everybody everywhere. No, it doesn't. You got to use some judgment there. Like people that are just so dead sure that America's going to be burned up in 1 hour. I mean, a lot of people believe that. America's Babylon's going to be destroyed in 1 hour. Well, that may be true. Okay, I could see that. But oddly enough, one of the things about it is that it's going to be burned up within 1 hour. And it says, I will be a wall of fire around Jerusalem, right? And I can't remember the passage. Look it up and find out yourself. But interesting enough that the Ozark Plateau is completely surrounded by oil fields. Completely surrounded. I mean, if you look at the map of a lot of maps of oil fields, I did a study on it one time. I did a video on it. And there's a whole bunch of different maps, and all of them show the Ozark Plateau is completely, absolutely underneath it. Nothing but water, aquifers, and streams, and lakes, and springs. Yeah, 2.5 billion gallons of water in springs coming out of the ground every day in the Ozarks. So, no gas, no oil. Sorry, but we can do wood gas. The wood gas people say the sun does not always shine, the wind does not always blow. So, sunshine, solar power, and wind power are not that reliable. But guess what? Smoke always rises. You can always light a match and make biochar, and you can always light a match and make wood gas. You can always light a match and make wood gas, and then make charcoal and make carbon monoxide. What is carbon monoxide? One atom of carbon, one atom of oxygen, right? It's like the perfect fuel. It's a completely blue flame. Atom of carbon of fuel, and an atom of oxygen to burn it with. Yeah, pretty amazing. Got an engine on them, perfectly clean. People are, if you said just expanded your writing just a little bit, and I'm not knocking this, but people can get them too. I'm assuming you're talking about parasites and worms. They start in bugs. They're the mind control worm. What's the mind control worm? That may be important for some people to know. I might need to know. Fleas, mites, roaches, beetles get them. Then the mammal gets them. They're boarders, like BOARD, and considered a sign of a healthy ecosystem. Yeah, like beetles, guys that raise cattle, when they see a dung beetle on their property, oh, they go ecstatic. They film it and video and talk about it and watch it for hours. They mate for life. Who mates for life? Fleas, mites, roaches, beetles. Jeremiah, I just looked again. Them. That's a pronoun, but what is the noun associated with? What I saw was a beetle like that with a bright yellow head, black shiny body. Oh, you're talking about the ones that came out of raccoons? Yeah. Be like that, like what? Like with a bright yellow head, black shiny body. Yeah. Yeah. Acanthocephala. Acanthocephala is a scientific name. Borer. Okay. Border. Okay. Yeah. Speaking to text, I understand typos. I just didn't quite sure. They're borers and considered a sign of a healthy ecosystem. Okay. Wormwood herb gets rid of parasites. Yeah. And black walnut tincture. So I was going to say another story I heard or experienced. Let me see if I can remember. I talked about it earlier. Bears, parasites, worms. Oh man, it escaped me at the moment. I did tell the other day that when I was on a walk with a pastor from Texas. This guy was a conservative Baptist. I think he was a independent Baptist or something like that. believed on rapture. Every single sermon was about the rapture, pre-trib rapture. We were walking down because the property that they were buying, his church was buying. He moved the entire church from Fort Worth to Missouri, or by Licking, Missouri. Kingdom Baptist Church. Yeah, Joey Faust. We're walking along, and he says, people moved to the Ozarks, and they knew they needed to have fat, for winter, and they started eating bear meat, and then they started going crazy because the bear meat had parasites, and they got into their brain. What's happened to this guy in Alaska? He ate bear meat, and he was starting to go nuts. He's starting to see things, hallucinating, and just weird. His vision was going, his balance was going, his internal organs were getting eaten up. So, eat a lot of salt. High salt diet will help out. Oh yeah, point I was going to make on eating clean, eating biblically. All these survival experts, quote unquote, survival experts, right? I'll name two of them. I think I can name two of them. One guy's name was Ron Hood, right? And I remember watching a video of him and his wife. His wife still has videos, does videos, but he was one of the most famous survival teachers in the world. He'd teach you how to eat, road Kelly, teach you how to eat raccoon, teach you how to eat beaver, and teach you how to eat, porcupine and baby monkey. But I remember one video he was just laughing. He had cooked a baby monkey. What does a baby monkey look like? It looked like a baby human being, right? Pretty much the same thing, visual. Once you cook it and boil it, it looks like a baby. So he's, yucking it up about eating this baby monkey, baby monkey. Well, he's dead, he died. What do you think he died of? Well, probably parasites and worms and shit like that. Yeah, his internal organs were eaten up for being stupid. And then another guy is Bob Hansler. Hansler, yeah. He's going blind. You think why he's going blind? Because of parasites, maybe? Same thing was happened to this guy in Alaska. He's going blind, right? Yep, went blind. He solved it because they figured out what it was. It was parasites. Well, Bob Hansler probably won't accept that idea. No, you can eat that stuff. You're supposed to eat all this stuff. That's what we're supposed to do. We're survivalists. We can stay alive, everybody else can be dead, but we're going to survive because we're going to eat raccoon and roadkill and, beaver and all this other crap, monkeys. So we can survive because we're going to have more bigger food source. Well, might be wiser to just eat clean meat and plants. Why not grow plants? You can get enough protein out of plants. Vegans have proven that. We can eat a lot of protein-based food. What's the strongest animal on earth? Gorilla. Yeah. How much meat do they eat? Not too much. What about an elephant? What do they eat? Plants. They don't eat any meat. What about whales? They don't eat any meat. They eat plankton and stuff, Anyway, rant over. Not that I really care. I've eaten a vegan diet for a while at some of these feast days I've been to where everybody's a vegan, And I could live that way, actually. One time I had a whole case, a milk crate, a 6-gallon milk crate full of food to fall back on if I had to. And I didn't. I didn't eat any of it. The food was good enough that I ate, and it was tasty enough, and it was really nice. The first time there was a shock from hell, It was a really weird, nasty food. Yeah. But then the women, they hired a cook to do that one, and then they figured we can do this ourselves, so they did, and they much better, far better. It was pretty cool. All right, we're at an hour. What time is it? I forgot. I'm sorry, Michelle. Somebody should have said something. 8:21. Okay. 8:21. Porcupine, the other pork, yeah, whatever. The mind control worm is the goo. It enters the body of the host to use it as a vehicle. Both benefits. I saw it in Star Trek. That's funny. Don't tell me it's in real life. I remember that. Yeah. Probably to some degree it is. Demons are able to get into people's heads too. And there's Satan prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Right? He doesn't care if he takes you out with a car, a truck falling on you, like a bridge collapsing your crushed cement truck, or an elk tearing you up, or a little worm in your brain. He don't care. It's all bad. If you're dead, it's all bad. So be careful. Live clean. Live careful. Be wise. Don't be foolish. Don't be stupid. You know. Listen here, people. Hear and listen. Ray shows a porcupine, the other pork. You're not serious, I hope. Oh, yeah. Tuna chicken of the sea, or are they pork of the sea? Pigs of the sea? I still have that question mark. Anybody want to know that answer? I've heard there's different kinds of tuna, and that some of them have fins and scales, and some of them do not have scales. The shark doesn't have scales, right? It's like so sandpapery skin. So the biblical strictures for eating clean fish is if they have fins and scales. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure that all tuna does, and if it's good to eat. Some of them are, some of them taste good. Some of them don't taste good. I don't eat a lot of tuna. I'd prefer salmon or trout or halibut or whatever. Some cleaner, better ones. Stop with the long pig joke, though. That's not good. Ever heard of the vril worm? Yeah, I've heard of vril. But that was another Star Trek episode, wasn't it? Vril? I don't know. I know a lot of preppers, Jeremiah. A lot of preppers call humans long pig, but that's just sick. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna go there. I've had people talk about eating people. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's cool. I don't think it's intelligent. I don't think it's anything good. It's all evil. Leslie, are you saying, ever heard of the real worm? You're saying that that's what caused the Black Eyed Club in Hollywood? I'll look that up. What's the Black Eyed Club? You're talking about the panda eye babies, are you, kids? Wild caught. Is a real worm in fish? What's wild caught? Sorry if I get. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. That's why another reason why I don't like to eat it. I just don't like the fact that I'm not sure I can tolerate it because I know I can't tolerate pork. I'll say early on in our marriage, I started having chest pain, and man, it hurt, it was very, very alarming. What it turned out to be was indigestion, but we didn't know that. I had chest pain. My chest was hurting, so we run to the doctor. He'd do tests. No, I can't find anything wrong. You're okay. Your blood tests good. You're okay. So I don't know. One thing had led to another, and we ended up making an appointment with an old, like an 80-year-old white-haired doctor, a family doctor, and I'm pretty sure I'm guessing he was probably, bet you anything, Seventh-day Adventist, right? So in about 5 minutes, he solved my problem. He goes like, "So when did this last happen? Last Sunday. That was Easter Sunday, right? Yep. Where'd you eat dinner at? My mom's. What'd you have there? Ham." He goes, "Well, stupid. The ham is not fit for human consumption. It's sure shall not fit for your consumption. You can't tolerate it. You can't digest it. Some people can. You can't. Don't eat it." So that was my first clue about eating clean. That was back in like 1980. That could have been 19. Probably by 1980, sometime in there, very early in our marriage. Married 38 years. That was about one of the very early times because we got my mom's for dinner. So anyway, yeah. If we could just say a few more pr- subjects instead of pronouns. Leslie, you said no children. Does that mean I asked a question? Black Eyed Club in Hollywood. Are you saying panda? The panda eyes, where their eyes are all black. You're not saying that's diet related, is it? I thought it was from their being sexually abused so badly, their eyes popped out, got all bruised up. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about, but They are ancient. Who are ancient? The politicians. Good source of mercy. They are ancient. Okay. Bugs, worms. No, children are ancient. Yes. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. They are wild caught tuna. Yeah. Wild caught tuna is probably okay. Yeah. But how do you know? How people are being honest? You know. Wave of politicians movie stars that all had black eyes from where they were punched or something 3 years ago, maybe. Okay. Yeah, Leslie, absolutely. That was huge, huge eye opener, awakening, wake up call for me. And then another thing that later on, it took me a lot of time, long time to figure this one out, but I would have horrible indigestion. I finally narrowed it down. It was cream cheese. Cream cheese is not fit for human consumption either. It's so plasticized. That's what makes it the texture that it does. People use it all the time for frosting and desserts and frying stuff in. One guy, literally a pepper guy, I think it was Russian, built a cabin out in the woods, and for dinner he took a whole block of cream cheese and put one egg with it, and mixed it up and fried it, and that was his dinner. I would puke. I'd be up all night long. If I had eaten that, I would stick my finger down my throat until I puked and vomited it up. That's what I'd have to do to be able to get to sleep. I can't eat that shit. It's not real. Now, real cream cheese is fairly easy to make, and it's delicious, and it's good for you. It's actually nice. But cream cheese they sell in the store, it has so much plasticizers in it. Look up the ingredients. It's just got guar gum, which is a plasticizer. It's a what you can build roads with guar gum because it sticks the soil together. So not good stuff. A is for agricultural vegetarian. Yeah, I know if Panda is, but I don't know. I had forgotten about the Black Eye Club. Yeah. So if people like beating them up for abusing kids, bunch of special forces people around beating them up. I don't know. What's up? How are you feeling? You talking to me? You talking to me? You talking to me? Grant, how you doing? First time I've seen you on here, I believe. Doing okay. I'm in Missouri. I don't know where you're at, but I'm in Missouri. You can go to my channel and kind of get an idea of where my. Look up the video of an interview with Pastor Joe Fox of Viking Preparedness in Shofar Mountain, and he did an interview with me back in 2014, and he uploaded that to his channel. I uploaded it to my channel. Mine is called on his channel. It's called Ozark Refuge. Look up Pastor Joe Fox Viking Preparedness Ozark Refuge. That's me interviewed. He interviewed me at his kitchen table in High Prairie Acres in Kansas. Okay. Now mine is called There Will Be a Safe Place Ozark Plateau Refugium or something like that. You could look it up on there by that one. That give you a gist of where I'm coming from, what my channel is about. I try to cover hundreds of things. Like I'm doing rocket stoves and what do you call it? Swedish tortures. I wish it wouldn't fade. It's just stay up there. South Georgia, huh? Oh my gosh. Well, hallelujah. Good to see you aboard. The real worm is a real thing where the real worm shoots into the eye and goes to the spine. And the entity takes over and traps the real soul inside. Okay, so maybe the Star Trek thing was a little bit of we call it acknowledging the truth. People with A-type blood have a difficulty digesting pork. A is for agriculture vegetarian. No, vegetarian veganism, old Indian word for bad hunter. So anybody know what the theory was with the black eyes thing in Hollywood? people go around and giving them a taste of their own medicine. That would be nice, wouldn't it? You see Tom Hanks like that? Jeremiah Shine says, I don't know, I just saw the stories and pictures. I think someone said it was a satanic ritual, one-eyed Jack type of thing. Okay. Could be. There used to be a channel where she was a political reporter. Yeah, there you go. Predictive programming, that's what I was wondering about. There used to be a channel where she was a political reporter and she researched it. She is somebody that you don't know the name of. It's a message to their brotherhood. Brotherhood. I think Hank's had a black eye. I would hope so. Blackened head. North Star Express, whatever that cartoon movie was with him in it, and that was so demonic. One-eyed Jack. Oh, pirate type thing. Goonies with Sean Astin. Anybody see that movie? One-eyed Jack was a pirate with a buried treasure, the hidden treasure in the cave off of the seacoast. And then in Magnificent Seven with Chris Pratt. Yeah, Chris Pratt. As he lights the dynamite. I've always had good luck with one-eyed Jacks as he throws it. McCain. We have a sin-line discussion here going about politicians and all this evil. That's okay. Be nice to be totally aware of it but then again, we'd be sick. I think people have died just from learning about this stuff. I knew a really wonderful sister, and she called me one night, and she was all in a panic about the horrible things they're doing, Pizzagate, and I think she'd been on the dark web and probably watched some of this stuff. And shortly thereafter, she died. I think maybe she had too much or committed suicide or what. I don't know. But very sad. Very nasty stuff going on. I know it's a lot of evil stuff going on. Operation Underground Railroad. Our Operation Underground Railroad. What a man that guy is. Oh my gosh. They go around the world with sting operations to rescue kids. Slave trafficking. Sex and, just slave trafficking. What is his name? Gadiant, you know who he is. He's a good Mormon kid. Oh, what the heck's his name? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember. Tom. Somebody spill out there. Operation Underground Railroad. Operation Underground Railroad. Who is that? Phenomenal group, though. Oh my gosh. Her channel got deleted by you, boob. You know who it was, though? Leslie, do you know whose channel got deleted? Because she's probably on Gab or BitChute or Rumble or something else. Yeah, Leslie Cook, what was her name? I don't go there, don't seek it out. Yeah, dude, try to talk about the dark web. Somebody was asking, though, about the channel you mentioned. Yeah, I don't look into it too much. I mean, I'm aware of it. I know it's horrible. I think I'd rather know about what's good things and what we can do in a positive way. It's like I don't worry about all the homeless people. I'm just trying to help the homeless people. Do something positive instead of whining about the bad stuff. I don't remember her name. It's been over a year ago. Okay, good. Okay, well, not good, but that's okay. So everybody, don't ask Leslie again. She doesn't remember. Look it up yourself. I don't even. She didn't even know what the channel was about. I didn't. She didn't say what the channel was about too much, but some of the Hollywood stuff, I don't know. Um, I was trying not to go into a lot of long detail, but I talked to a woman, a sister, one time. World record for me of talking with someone. 6 hours. Most of that was listening to her, kind of de-stress, decompress from all the horrible things that happened in her life. I'm a good listener. All right, so this woman was amazing. She had a head on her shoulders, like financials, construction. She knew so many things. Business, and her husband had cheated on her and did all kinds of horrible things to her, and was kind of basically trying to kill her out in California. So she had a huge fifth wheel camper, RV. Yeah, it was an RV. Yeah, and amazing. Had three tip outs. You could have a whole business board meeting in there, and she knew real estate. She knew finances. She knew banking. She knew so many things, and I was so looking forward to having her come out here. She's the only person I've ever known that talked about getting on the dark web. Somewhere between California and Arkansas, where she ended up. I think she went just like totally insane. I mean, she just did some really stupid things. Accused a guy that drove her stuff out here of some really nasty stuff, and just didn't pay him anything. Treated him like crap. Accused him of theft, and just insanely nutty stuff. And I never have talked to her since. I never have heard from her. Haven't I tried once in a while? I'll call her and write her, and try to get in touch with her, saying, "Hey, what's up?" But she's gone. And I think it was, to me, in my mind, it was associated with her dark web reading. It just, she got taken over by something, some evil spirit or whatever. It's like you literally went demonically insane between California and Arkansas. So, like I said, the enemy's out there prowling around, seeking whom he may devour, and he don't care what he does, how he does it. But be very careful about that. Right now, I see a lot of people that I know right here around me being influenced and controlled by the enemy. I believe demonic forces. One of the very specific demonic forces, Jezebel, because Jezebel, I have noticed this before, can work in three or four different people's lives, Christians, to try to kill somebody. That's my read on it. That's what I believe. Call me crazy or whatever, but if we don't believe that we're in spiritual warfare, we're stupid. People will talk about quote Ephesians 6. Yeah, we wrestle against not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and rulers of darkness of this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. And then they live like hell. They live like they don't care. They live like they don't believe that. They allow people to tell them what to think, and they allow people to influence their lives, and they don't care. I just I don't want to have any, I don't want to know. Tim Ballard, thank you. Yeah, Tom. I said Tom, Tim, Tom. Yeah, Tim Ballard. What a guy. Oh, awesome. Thanks, Gadian. Yeah, Tim Ballard. Operation Underground Railroad is a phenomenal organization worldwide. They do cover. They have sting operations around. Watch at least one of their videos. A couple of them. It's just fascinating to me. And who was it? An actor. Oh my gosh. Well, a young guy, an actor, is working with him, and Tony Robbins does. You know, very good, very cool, very awesome. What's right for your type? But what blood type should he take it further? What would Jesus eat? Is there a book called What Would Jesus Eat? I don't know. How long did I know the lady before her trek to Arkansas? I would say about a year. I don't know. Several months, quite a few months. Everybody read it. Leslie said 8:40 p.m. I stopped focusing on politics, news, etc. It's all distraction from the enemy of our souls. It's a distraction from, not to distract us from the enemy of our souls, but a distraction from the enemy, coming from the enemy of our souls. Jesus is the door for real. Yep. Amen. Hallelujah. It's like messing with magic. The dark web, I assume, it will destroy you. Yep. Yep. They're in witchcraft magic on us through the television. Yep. Ashton Kutcher. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Ashton Kutcher, everybody. That's the guy I was trying to remember. Thank you. That was just so touching listening to him talk. I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, we stopped watching TV in 1993 pretty much. I mean, we stopped just cold turkey. Boom. Done. Yeah, damn it. Yeah, I'm going to hang it up here. Michelle's hanging up. I'm going to hang it up because my voice is about gone. I don't want to get too worn out here. It's getting cold too. I can feel that big time. It's me, Linda. Linda. Her name wasn't kinda. No, it was Linda. Linda. I don't know who Linda is. Yeah, Linda probably. Linda's probably the lady that she was talking about. Okay, let's get off that topic. It's not that big of a deal. Um, I met a crazy girl from California. Oh my gosh, what was her name? What was the crazy girl from California's name? This was a woman, not young but pretty old. And who asked me that anyway? Michael Allen. Hey, there's a lot of crazy girls from California, I'm sure. Her name was Susan. Very sad, very sad. It was just terrible. She had so many resources. She had a flexible, inflatable barometric chamber, hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and on the TV thing, yeah, going back to the early TV cathode ray tube and VCRs, there are military patents on doing mind control through using those media. That goes back to Hendrikus Liu, Chinese guy, scientist. Hendrikus, his nickname was Hu, and his last name was Liu. Hulu television on internet streaming. Yep, same guy. That's him. Hulu. Not good. Brain control, mind control, brainwashing. I keep telling Bill, and he's finally saying, I gotta go get my brainwashing. Let's go watch the news. I'm gonna go get my brain washed. Good night, everybody. I'm saying good night. Goodbye. Bye bye. Hasta lasagna. Hasta la vista. Hasta la vista, baby. Good night. God bless everybody. Really good talk, chat, discussions. Thank you for the information. Thank you for your input, everybody. I really appreciate it. May we help people. And if some having save with fear, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh, and if some have compassion, others save with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. Now to him who is able to keep you from falling and present you faultless before the presence of his glory, with exceeding joy, to the only wise God, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Good night. 9 people on, 9 thumbs ups. Good night, Dan. Good night, Michael. Good night, it's me. Good night, Zapton Kaboom. Good night, Leslie. Good night, Jeremiah. Good night, Ray. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Marianne. Good night, Michelle. Good night, Leslie. Good night, Gad. Leslie. Zapton. Michael. Leslie. Ray. Good night, Ray. Good night, Michael. Jeremiah. Grant. Good night. I think that's it. I've said it. Good night, everybody. I don't see anybody that I didn't miss yet. All right.